Cindy and Jim here from OUTAPocket, and today we are installing a spare tire.
I am so excited to do this upgrade. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time.
Certainly ever since Nova Scotia, right? When we went across what was absolutely a chasm, went from one side of the road to another.
It makes me nervous when we're on the road not having a spare.
Yeah.
I've never driven a vehicle in my life that did not have a spare tire. And the fact that the Solis Pocket does not come with one is not unique to this RV. Many of the ProMaster-based RVs don't come with a spare anymore. I don't like that.
I don't either, and hopefully we're going to fix it today. Today we're going to go over all the parts that are needed for this install, which is a little tricky, and we're going to go through the install itself.
There are a few steps that are unique to the Solis Pocket that are different from a standard ProMaster van. So we'll walk you through what those are today too.
So, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think this is going to be one of the easier installs.
It should be on the easier side. I know it'll be easier than the air conditioner.
Well, I'm not the one doing it underneath,
It
so
looks like it's
should be
going
pretty
to
good.
be pretty straightforward, so I'm excited to do it.
Yeah,
Let's get this one done.
Let's get it going. There are a couple of different ways to mount a spare tire to the back of the Solis Pocket. One of them obviously is to mount it right to the back. Some people use the trailer hitch, some people attach it right to these hinges. That's not going to work for us because one, when we travel, we tend to bring a lot of equipment, a lot of bikes, and we use the trailer hitch and this space in back. And two, our garage isn't that deep enough, so we need a different option.
The other option for the spare tire is underneath in the back of the van. The ProMaster is built with space under here specifically to hold a spare tire. And there's plenty of room, they just didn't utilize it. Some vans could have a generator here, you probably want to check yours first, but this space is wide open for us to use and will be the best location for our spare tire. Okay, for this project, you need some parts and some tools. First thing you need, of course, is a spare tire and rim that fits your vehicle. You can buy these rims new, obviously you can buy tires new. It's a pretty expensive path. I called the local junkyard. They happen to have a rim that fit our van and a used tire. They put this together for under $200. Make sure you get the rim that fits your model year van. Then you need the parts to actually mount that spare tire. The main one is this winch. This is a confusing part because there was one design that seemed to be in place until 2021. If you look online, you see people using those parts. Then they had a new design, and they've had 3 different part numbers for the same part since 2022. It looks like the current part number, again, we'll put all this information in the description so you can reference it when you get the parts. It looks like this current part fits all the vans all the way back to 2018 to the most modern ones, 2016. So that's the main part, the winch. That gets mounted with 4 of these bolts here. Then you need the spare tire bracket. It has a little pad on it. That takes 1 more bolt. Then to mount this to the frame, I'm going to use 4-inch bolts. People have done other things, but there are holes right through the frame. A 4-inch bolt looks like it's enough to mount that on there. I'll put a link up to those as well. And then last, you need this spare tire release bar. This is something that goes into the winch to drive it using part of your jack system to crank the winch up and down. If you look at the picture on the Mopar site, it is very confusing. There are many, many more parts here. They seem to be pieces of the old design, new design. It's all blended in. We annotated this so it's kind of clear what you need now with the current system. So we'll put a reference to that. And as far as this part, we ended up ordering this on Amazon. The Mopar site says this doesn't fit our van, but you need it for the spare tire carrier. There'll be a link to that. You may want to check your jack setup, A, to make sure you have one, and B, to see if this is in there. The Mopar picture describes this part as being included in the scissor jack, but we didn't have it. So for parts, that should cover it. As far as tools, we've got a few of them pulled together. Socket wrench, a few different sizes, 9/16, 13 millimeter, 3/8. I see there are some hoses under there that we'll be working with that use these clips. These can be very fragile. We got some spares, 9/16" wrench, a drill, a few bits, and a work light. So that should be what we need to tackle this one. Let's get to it. I'm under the center of the van now. This is where that main center bracket for the tire winch will mount, so the spare tire will be located right in here. One thing they did on the Solis Pocket is they mounted this propane junction bracket and valve here. which is going to be in the way. Spare tire is going to end up hitting this. Unfortunately, they mounted this not only in the way, but right on top of where one of the other brackets need to go. So they could have put this anywhere. They took up this one spot that we need, so this setup has to move. I turned the propane off before I fiddle with any of this propane line, although I don't expect to open up the line at all. Now, I've learned that some people are able to move this bracket down here. Some people move this whole bracket up to the next frame cross member. Based on the amount of hose that we have here and how it's laid out, I would like to try to move it up to the next cross member. So I'm going to start detaching these brackets. I already took one off here that hold all the hoses, and then there are 4 of these screws that hold this whole setup together. Sheet self-tapping metal screws. I have this all loosened up now. This hole right here, I believe, is the one we'll use for the bracket later. It's already threaded, which is perfect, just like these 4. So those 4 plus this one should be the ones we use for the spare tire mount. Let's see if I can work this to the back now. It's going to be the new location. I need to drill some pilot holes, and then I'll put the sheet metal screws in again. Okay, that's one. Okay, I'm going to reinstall hose clamps where I can and add new ones where needed. Now that the propane is moved, we should have room for this back bracket. And this should already be threaded, although it felt a little rusty. Looks like it is threaded. Seems to be in. Good. I have the first 2 bolts started. Looks like that slots in. And then the other 2 bolts here with this facing toward the front of the vehicle. So I will tighten all these up. For the 4th bolt, there is a type of safety cable that goes on here so the spare tire won't roll away. Feels pretty tight. That's done. Next, to mount the other end of this is where these bolts come in. One thing I noticed, this one was a little bent, so I might have to muscle it a little bit. This bracket. It's through. Let's start this nut on it. These nuts have nylon, so they don't come undone. Good. That'd be just about it. Okay. Okay, looks pretty good. It's the spare tire, Cindy. Let's see what we got. It seems if you're toward the back of the vehicle, it's a little easier to get all this stuff through. There. That looks like what we're supposed to do. It's going up. I just kind of swung it in front of the drain pipe. I'm hoping it doesn't actually hit. Oh, looks like it's gonna make it. Look at that. It kind of went above it
Wow.
and tucked in there. It's still going, but I don't see it moving. Oh, that's it. Clicked. Look like under here, the winch mount, the tire's up. One thing, if you look back here, the tire seems to be pinching against a couple of these in the back. Those are actually foam that's over some bolts. So I'm a little worried that the tire could be rubbing against those bolts. So what I'll do is after a little while, I'll drop this tire and I'll check and see if there's any rubbing against the tire. If there is, I might have to cut off those two bolts that are right behind the tire. Otherwise, the install looks good. We'll take some putty and fill up the holes that I took the screws out of because there's probably bare metal showing there. But otherwise, this is all buttoned up. We did it.
We did it.
I'm so happy to have a spare tire now when we travel.
I am too, and it was remarkably easy to do. The space is right there for it.
It's just silly that it doesn't come with a spare tire.
Yeah.
And it's also frustrating to me that Winnebago put the propane thing right in the way. Like, why couldn't they just put it somewhere else? It's such an easy thing, but
yeah,
we moved it.
It wasn't hard. It
wasn't that
there was space
bad.
for it, so it
Yeah.
was easy.
Yeah, my back kind of hurts from being
The hardest
under
part
there.
is being underneath the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what I was thinking?
No,
Have you ever changed a spare tire before
not on this.
from scratch?
Yes, I have on
Oh,
a different
okay.
vehicle.
All right. But maybe we should go through the whole process of changing the spare tire for a future video. That'll give us a chance to check on those two little bolts
All
that I
right.
noticed at the end.
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
All right,
Great upgrade. One pretty much anyone could do.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not
Go
too
for
bad.
it.
All right. And if you find that this video is of use to you, please feel free to like and subscribe and drop us a line. Let us know how you fared putting in your own spare tire.
Till then, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.